Hello out there, we're on the air. Sorry for the late start on the commentary. I was resolving a camera issue. Perhaps you saw me on the ice to my chagrin. But we're here with the latest draw featuring the action between Team Frey of OC Curling taking on Frey of Wine Country taking on Berndt of OC Curling. Rocks in play, we're underway. Let's get up to date on the action. This is your host Ryan. We're broadcasting from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling Club. It's just fun to hit the word epic when we describe the club here. So Berndt has the hammer to start by drawing closer to the center of the rings than their opponent Frey. And it looks like this is gonna maybe crash on one of the guards. And it does crash on that top guard. I call those Snoop guards because of how high they are. Although he was great during the Olympics, Mr. Snoop Dogg. Or I say Mr. Dogg, but it's just silly. And I am a lot of things, but I am never silly. Also, sometimes facetious. As we see the latest rock coming for Team Berndt, playing with the red rocks with a hammer, looking to try to score multiple points here in this first end if they can. And Team Frey has some humorous biographies that I will read during the game today. We're also going to keep you up to date on the action on the neighboring sheets at this two-sheet facility. That B game is Team Chen of Orange County taking on Team Betts of Wine Country. And I think Betts, if he wins this, he and his ring definitely punch their ticket into tomorrow morning semifinals. It might just feel like it's at night. And looks like we are to skip stones as the skip of Team Frey pushes out of the hack. I think maybe pick out the red center guard. It's a pretty open sheet right now. Or they could look, no, it looks like they're looking to pick that red, although Frey is sitting shot in the back of the forefoot. So it does advance the red into the house. I don't know if there's a run back there. Oh my God. I'm good. I'm free. This camera view that we have here, I keep trying to shift it so it's centered, and every time someone walks on the boards, it gets jostled just a little bit, and the angle shifts just a little bit, just a little bit, just to get on my nerves, and you guessed it, just a little bit. So it looks like they're going to do a draw. I think maybe looking to get around that those high guards as Austin Berndt throws his first here with the hammer in the first end. We are keeping track of scores at bonspieler.com. Let's see if it's going to get around those guards. Actually, it's not going to go around the guards. It's going to come in and crash on the guard. So now Frey is sitting 1 in a position to steal. And looks like they're going to put up a guard. That would be the soundest strategy. Prevent Berndt from being able to run or tap that red back. The one thing I was thinking they could do is maybe just put in a second stone and be sitting 2, and then really force Berndt to make a really awesome shot for 1. But that might be more trouble than it's worth. I might be overthinking things, and when you watch curling all weekend long, you do start to overthink things perhaps a little bit. As we see Mike Frey throw his last here of the first end without the hammer. Looking for a guard. So they want the weight to stay light. They don't want it to over curl. And it looks like it might be over curling now. Now they're probably hoping for a little bit of a roll. And there's not much roll there. So now Berndt has that raise, 4-1. They have a couple options. They can also try to just hit that. Oh. Okay, so based on where they had the broom, they could look to maybe just like pick out that blue. And if they throw the right weight and stick around, they could score 2. So definitely after a fairly good setup by Team Frey, Austin Berndt has a chance for 2. His last shot's away. The hammer coming here in the first end. It needs to come back, and it's not going to. It does hit the reds. It promotes it into the house and then out of the house. So that's going to be a steal of 1 for Team Frey. Berndt will carry the hammer into the second end. So we're going to take a pause in the action and be right back to the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, coming to you from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. And today's event is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Doubletakeout.com is operated by Ken Pomeroy, who is here at this event playing. He's a sports aficionado. You might know him for college basketball, and he's really committed himself to curling. So throughout the competitive curling season, you can check doubletakeout.com for the latest stats, insights, and more from Pomeroy as he ranks the teams, the top men's, women's, and mixed doubles teams from around the world using his custom algorithm. And that's all at doubletakeout.com. So, about to start the second end as the stips get down to the playing end of the sheets. Mike Frey has the broom down for the lead for Team Frey, and that is going to be Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson's been curling for 6 years, was at last year's Arena Playdowns as lead. And that's going to settle in to the back of the forefoot, biting the back 8. So we have 10 teams in this men's field as Alan Berndt gets set for his first. He's been curling for 7 years, was at Arena Playdowns, was a semifinalist last year playing lead. Was also a winner at the Hollywood Curling 5 Under Hollywood Spiel in 2021. So we have 10 teams in this field, so we've split up into 2 pools of 5 teams, and that means each team gets 4 games, and so we are coming to the end of pool play This is going to be Berndt's last game. As Frey has one more game after this, actually. He's taking on Pomeroy in the nightcap. So right now in this pool, it's Pool A. Team Spangler of one country is 3-0. They're on the ice right now, playing their last game. No, I'm wrong. I take that back. I apologize. Spangler's going to be at the 6:30 game. But if Spangler wins his last game, he's guaranteed a spot in the semifinals. The top two teams advance from both pools for a 4-team semifinal. So right behind Spangler is Ken Pomeroy at 2-1. Frey is at 1-1. So if they win this game, they're going to be in the playoff discussion. Hernandez is at 1-2 of Hollywood. And then Team Berndt of OC Curling is at 0-3, looking to play spoiler here in this last game for Berndt. Shifting over to Pool B, Team Betts is at 3-0. And their last game is right now on Sheet B. And so if they win this, they are guaranteed a spot in the semifinals. Followed closely behind by Team Gilbert of Oval Curling at 2-1. And their last game is at 6:30. They're going to take on Team Stephanie on Sheet B. And Stephanie's going to be looking to play spoiler. They're at 0-3, just based on kind of how the tournament worked out, unfortunately for them. And then we got Team Chen of OC Curling, I want to say. That would be correct, at 1-1. And we got Team Malloritz at 1-2. And so Malloritz could have an outside chance to be in the conversation. So you can find that all at bondspieler.com. You can also find links to our YouTube web streams, which I think are still active. And it's all at bondspieler.com. So for Team Berndt, we have the this is their second, I want to say, and that would be this could be Neil Hunter. I could get back to you. It does. They do clear one of the blue Frey rocks. As Bob Kunstel pushes out of the hat. He's maybe not happy with that shot. It looks like it's coming down a little heavy. And I think light was the miss. As it is going to maybe crash on the blues in the house and roll wide left. Not necessarily a bad outcome. It does create a possible double opportunity for Berndt. And that does look like Neil. But I hope people will correct me if I'm wrong. I could also check with the officials in a moment. This is over curling, so this is going to be a bit of a flash. Just an unfortunate missed opportunity there for Berndt. So for Ryan Fox, Frey has the broom down, looking to, I think, put up that tight guard, protecting the key shot stones in the middle of the ice, middle of the house. It's looking pretty good. Bob's trying to push it over. It looks like it's going to come back, just based on how much curl we've been seeing in this event. Bob's trying to coach it over a little bit more, which it needed. So it looks like the center shot stones are protected. I'd say about 50%. So it looks like Austin's just trying to pluck that out. As Dan McCarthy, the lefty, gets positioned in the hat. Looks like he's going to be able to get one of the blue stones. Will he get any more? The answer is no. Because he ran the blue into the pile and thanks to inertia, dislodged the bat blue out the back. And it looks like Frey's going to put up the another blue protector in the top of the house. As Ryan gets set.
Hopefully you won't go into extra ends tonight.
Got someone walking on the board. I think they want it to be right of the center line. And it looks like he's going to get there. A pretty good shot there from Fox. So it looks like Austin wants Dan to throw, I think, control. I'm not quite sure about the rubbing the belly weight control sign. And this looks like it needs to come back a little bit, and it's not going to, so that's going to be a flash and a missed opportunity for Team Berndt. So they're going to close the door. They were looking at, well, Fox is looking at drawing on the right side, and Frey wants to draw on the left side. Okay, I think I understand the shot. He does want it to curl about 4 feet, looking for a mid guard to end up kind of in the middle of the guard zone in front of that rightmost blue, kind of on the center line. That 2-foot line to the right of the center line. This is Matt Frey's first. Mike Frey. Sorry, Mike. It's coming down weight-wise pretty good. Looking for it to curl another 2 or 3 feet. Oh, it looks like they wanted to put it right next to that blue guard. And it looks like it will get there. So that was the shot they wanted. So Berndt is facing a bit of a bind here. They're looking to maybe draw through that port just to the right of the center and maybe park their stone right on the button, somewhat covered by the center blues. So the weight needs to be really on target, as does the line. This is the first of 2 skip stones coming from Austin Berndt. Needs to get through the porch. It's going to be tight. Is it going to crash on the guard? It looks like it will. So they really tried to hold the line. It wasn't enough. So it does create a gap for Berndt to maybe slip through with his last, unless Frey closes it off. So they're pretty comfortable with that draw on the right side here. I guess their one worry is maybe tapping the red or leaving the red open for a run back. So here they want to, I think, maybe hit they want the blue to be, again, kind of in, I think, the middle of the guard zone and in front of that red. About half covering the red, about half in the open gap. At least that's kind of how I see it. So this is Mike Frey's last rock of the end. Looking for a guard. Don't want to trash on the red. Looks like it's going to be pretty close. And it actually looks really, really good. Mission accomplished right in front of that red, half covering the red, half in the gap. There's a very narrow port down the middle that Berndt could try to take on, but it would be a very difficult shot. Facing 3 blues in the rings. So you can see in the background on the left, there's a clock counting down. It seems to have 30 minutes of thinking time to get their shots off. If they run out of time after 8 ends, they pretty much lose the game. And then if the game does go to an extra end, they get extra time. They don't have to use their pot of 30 minutes. But they don't get to carry over the time either. So we're looking to raise the red. This is going to be a little close, and it does do the job of cutting Frey down to just a single blue rock. So a tough shot for Berndt, but I think made the best of it. Frey steals the end, the single points, and we'll be up 2-0 when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. Welcome back to our ongoing coverage of the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. Got some rocks in play, 2 guards right now, as we see the net stone coming from Sean Johnson for Team Frey. Sean Big Hunter Johnson, what he lacks in experience, he makes up for in broom stacking. I've been curling for 6 years, attended 2 500 spiels and multiple open bond spiels. But by trade, he's a professional engineer, but his true passion is puppeteering. And we'll get into that career in just a few moments, I guess, as this game continues to unfold. We have Berndt throwing his second rock. Alan, again, curling for 7 years. As part of an 8-ender club, which I think was with this with Team Berndt. Austin is Alan's son, if I remember correctly. And this rock is going to end up, I think, touching the top of the house. And indeed, it is nibbling the top of the house. But the 5 rock rule is still in effect, so there's a danger of hitting that center line rock. Not only is it a guard, it's a center line guard. And there's a no-tick rule in effect for this tournament. It's about 2 or 3 years old at this point, where an opposing team can't dislodge a center line guard off the center line, including promoting into the house. So if that happens, the non-offending team has the choice to either let the rocks stand as they played out, or to remove the offending rock and reset the rocks to where they were previously. And looking for a draw here from Bob. That's a pretty good draw there. Going to settle in back to the 4-foot. So now that was the 5th rock to the end. So now any guard zone or no tick rule is off. And so Berndt could choose to blow up the rocks that got a wall of Hadrian building up there. And it looks like they're choosing to try and draw around those guards, kind of follow Bob down to the button. This looks pretty close. I think they were going for line. It stopped the weight, and I think it's going to hit the blue. It does, and the shooter red is going to roll back under the blue. About 60% open. Mike is choosing to ignore it as Bob Kunstler gets sets. He's been curling for 1.5 years, including being a runner-up at the MoPac Seniors this year. That was held at Tahoe Epic Curling. Bob, you betcha Kunstler's name. If his name and good looks seem familiar to you, you'll probably recognize him from his days as a child actor. Most notably, he had a recurring role on the Andy Griffith Show as Barney Fife's nephew, and also did a short stint as the center square on Hollywood Squares. And if you believe that, I believe there is a bridge over Lake Tahoe that I can sell you. It's really good that teams have fun with these bios. As long as it's a good fun. And I'm obviously not trying to pass off that information as being true. As we see Neil Hunter deliver his rock. He's not happy with it. Looks like he's upweight, looking to maybe clear the guard, but it's going to over curl. And it's going to go through the house out of play. So just kind of, he's bummed about that outcome. Warm room's kind of filling up. This is a very cozy warm room. We're only missing beanbag chairs. It's on the list though, I hope. As Ryan Frey gets set. Ryan Fox. Ryan Frey is a different curler. Ryan Country Breakfast Fox has been partly active, semi-competitive, lethargically enthusiastic, and somewhat energetic member of Wine Country for 7 years. Looks like it's going to make the hit and roll a little towards the center. It's open, I believe. So they're seating somewhat for the people to watch the games. There also are tables for the teams on the ice that can come in and broom stack, socialize, if they want halfway through the game or at the end of the game. Yeah, these games are timed, so there's no halftime nosh necessarily. And this rock, I think they were looking to pop out that Frey blue, but it's going to crash on the blue, and then Mike's going to sweep it through the house out of play. That blue stone that was hit rolls to the edge of the sheet, but is not touching the black line, apparently. That black line is the boundary of the sheets. And per the rules of curling, if a stone touches the sideline, it's out automatically. It's important that we don't have the rocks like bump off the boards or bounce into other sheets that are playing their games. So this is Ryan Fox's last, I think, looking to put up a guard. This is looking pretty good. The guard is accomplished, and now it's going to be pretty tricky for Berndt to draw into the house down that path. He looks like he's going to take it on, though. There is a port. It's not a super narrow port, but it's a kind of an offset port. Could be tricky for Dan McCarthy. He's been curling for 10 years. Member of the dedicated ice committee for Hollywood and OC Curling. They're the Southern California Curling Clubs, along with San Diego Curling, or Curl San Diego, as it's officially known. It's going to crash on the blue and then roll towards the center. So not a bad shot there from McCarthy. So now we're to skip stones as Ryan Fox is back to hold the broom for his skip. And they're just looking to put up a tight blue stone to prevent a draw or a run back or any other type of shot to upset the scoring situation in the rings. Looks like Frey is sitting first and third in terms of the counting stones, and then Berndt has 2 and 4. As he gets sets, looking for alignment, balance, and curl. Bob jumps on it quickly. They don't want it. I mean, if it curls into the pile and it's a soft tap, that's not going to be too bad. It's going to be close. Bob really swept the heck out of that rock. And it's going to settle in as a mid guard, somewhat blocking the path. But the draw looks to still be there, and it looks like Austin Berndt is going to take it on. There's also a port on the right side of the screen. It looks like it's about 1.5 stones, maybe close to 2 stones across. And they could try and draw through that for a single point, but I don't know how the rocks react down that path. As Austin Berndt gets positioned. Austin's been curling for 10 years. Was an arena Playdowns participant in 22 and 23. Last year he made it to the semifinals for this rink. And the other regional events included the MoPac 5 and Under, finishing as the champion in 2015, playing second. Was an event winner in 2016, also skipping. This looks like a pretty good draw. They were looking for almost like a nibble of the button, or hitting that blue back a little bit, but it would not push the blue far enough back. So potentially a tricky situation for Mike Frey. I think I said that maybe blue is still shot. It looks like it still is. By like maybe an inch. And Mike Frey has been curling for 7 years. Mike Upweight Frey, his name is pronounced like his favorite vegetable. Started curling in 2017 when he attempted to go ice fishing at the local skating rink. And if you know the joke, you know how it goes. So Mike adds to the joke about trying to create ice fishing holes. Curlers gave him a quick lesson in the game while they waited for the police to arrive. And then while in the Hooskow, he found a VHS tape of the Men with Brooms historical documentary / comedy. And today credits Leslie Nielsen as his favorite curler, and credits him with teaching him everything he knows about the sport. And in the handful of MoPac bonspiels that Mike has participated in, he's most remembered for his karaoke skills. So that was a pretty good guard there from Frey. So now Austin Berndt is looking to see how he can get into score. Frey put up a tight guard that kind of chokes off that draw to the button. I did mention there is a draw path on the left side, but we don't know how much it's going to curl necessarily. I say we, but I mean me. I don't know how much it's going to curl. But if you were able to get through that port, it could be on the side of the button for a single point. But it looks like they're going out even wider. I think looking to maybe tap that red back onto the blue. And this is Austin Berndt's last here in the third end. Down 2-0. And looking to, I think, get a tap for 1. And it's not going to come back. He put a lot of rotation on it, maybe hoping for like a Dean spinner. And it does have the spin, but not enough line. So they pointed to Berndt that red rock. So it looks like they thought that was shot stone. So it does appear that Berndt did score 1 to get on the board. And I guess we'll see what they put on the scoreboard in a moment. But when we come back, we're going to have the fourth end of a possible 8 ends of gameplay during this draw. So while they take a pause, we will too, and we'll be back in just a moment to the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. Welcome back to the latest draw in the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns. Coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. It is now even more crowded in this warm room. As Berndt did get a single, they go first in this end as Frey has the hammer. So Berndt puts up a corner guard. And it looks like Frey is going to try to put up a center guard or draw into the top of the house with Sean Johnson's first. Updating looking at the scores at bombspieler.com. No one's posted scores yet. I might nudge someone in a moment to see if we can get those updated. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I can see the scoreboard. And on sheet B, too many people are standing in front of the scoreboard. This rod from Allen heads down the ice. I think it might scoop past that corner guard that Team Frey put up. And it will. And that'll turn into a center guard, which cannot be dislodged by the opposing team until after the 5th rock of the end. Okay, so I can sort of see the scoreboard. Looks like on sheet B, the contest between Team Chen of Orange County and Team Betts of Wine Country. It appears that Betts put up a single in the first and stole the second. But then Chen converted the hammer for 2 in the third to tie things up at 2-all. And Chen is at 1-1 right now, looking for some wins to stay alive in the playoff hunt. The top 2 teams out of each of the 2 pools advance to tomorrow's semifinal. So Neil is getting set for, looks like a takeout. I think they wanted the other rotation. And then that nudges the center guard. So just a run rotation, it appears. Looking at the replay in the monitor. Okay. So I missed the dramatic hand gesture from Austin Berndt. So it looks like Bob is being asked to maybe draw to the right from this view and curl around the red corner guard and sit 2, as Frey does have the hammer here in this first end. This looks pretty good. It might be a little on the heavy side, as Austin's going to sweep it back to the 8-foot, the edge of the 8-foot ring. Does get it somewhat covered by the corner guard. And so it looks like Austin might want to try to do some cleaning action. Or actually he wants to tap the red back. And lots of people in this warm room. There are 4 Wine Country teams in this event, so definitely some Wine Country supporters in the house tonight. As Neil throws a second stone, looking to tap that red back, but Austin is pointing out that the rock is a bit wide. Maybe looking for a plan B to curl around the guard, and it's actually going to chip the guard and actually have the shooter roll to the top of the house. Biting the top of the house. So it looks like with that door open down the center, Mike Frey is looking to close it by putting a tight guard, asking Barney Fife's nephew to do the honors. Again, that's tongue-in-cheek with that bio. Bob also recently retired after a successful career as a transponder and has set a curling goal of being a champion broom stacker. When not curling, Bob can be found getting back into his true passion, snail racing. Which, it definitely is a profession. Maybe not a profession, an avocation, a hobby. I don't know if you can get paid for snail racing. But that shot was successful by Bob Kunstl. So now Austin and Berndt is looking to run the red back onto the blue. Looking for Bob McCarthy. Dan McCarthy. Bob might be his uncle. Dan McCarthy's been curling for 10 years. Was a quarterfinalist at the Arena Nationals in 2018, throwing second. And this looks pretty good. Let's see where it ends up. Does run the red back onto the blue. And one of the blue shot rods goes through the house, out of play. Would have to say mission accomplished. And now Team Frey sitting 2 with the hammer. Those 2 blues are pretty well covered. Although the top blue is it's vulnerable to any sort of tap back by Team Berndt. And we see Ryan Fox get set. So earlier we said that Ryan was the current Guinness World Record holder for hopping on 1 foot, which I would need to see more evidence. but Ryan has, since taking up curling, has had a hard time finding the time to perform his main job, a project manager for a local construction company. I have a feeling that might be true. In addition to winning many club league championships in his tenure, Ryan has also attended many 5 and under bonspiels, where his greatest accomplishment is being the perennial recipient of the Thirstiest Curler Awards. So, looks like the rock from Fox was a little heavy, kind of jostled the stones around, and Berndt is, I think, looking to have McCarthy draw and maybe tap that red back towards the button. Calls the sweepers off. This is wide right now. It might actually promote the blue. Okay, so he was drawing the entire time, not to promote. It does end up tapping that blue guard closer to the center, making it harder to open up the middle. And so now Frey is going to have Fox draw, and I think maybe settle into the top 12. Wants to block off the draw path, but not give Team Berndt a target. When not curling, Ryan can be found preparing his mind, body, and soul for the Mr. Olympia competition, as well as adding to his personal collection of potato chips that resemble celebrities. This is pretty close, and I think does the job. So Austin is looking at drawing on the right side. I don't think I've seen them do a draw down this path lately. I also haven't driven a Ford lately. Lots of rocks in play. Team Frey is sitting 2 with the hammer. As Ryan gets positioned, looking for A, B, and C on this delivery. Aim, balance, and curl. Looks like he's checked all the boxes. This needs to come back, as you can see now. It looks like it did start swinging really nicely. If they can get another couple feet, they could have been shot. As it is, they cut down Frey to. Actually, it cuts him down almost entirely. It looks like Berndt might be shot rock. The overhead cameras look like it's. I do say cameras don't tell the whole story. So it looks like Frey is going to take on that red. Warm room cheering on the action on sheet B as they wrap up their 4th end. About to take a break as Mike throws his first. Looking for a takeout. This needs to hold the line so it doesn't crash on the guard. Once it's past the guard, they're going to let it go and see where it ends up. It does hit the red rock and then rolls undercover right on top of the button in the forefoot. What a well-executed shot there by Mike Frey. Mike Upweight Frey.
Good to see you. Bye.
So Berndt is going to try that draw again, I believe. And on sheet 4, sheet B. Sheet 4 is in the parking lot, by the way. If we do like a street curling tournament. This is going to be a tricky shot for Austin Berndt. So updating the action, Betts jumped to a 4-2 lead after scoring 2 in that fourth end. Austin's last rock is away here on our feature sheet. Looking to, I think, get a piece of the 4-foot. It's going to sail back to the back of the house. Where's it going to end up? It's going to hit and roll. So I think that's enough to make it. I think a second rock again. A second rock now. So I think Frey needs to take it on. And if he gets it out, they're going to be scoring 3, maybe 4. So a pretty interesting situation. Frey's played the end really well, but Austin Berndt isn't making it easy. So this is Mike Frey's last. Looking for multiple points to really jump ahead here. Not throwing a lot of weight, which hopefully allows for some control. It kind of winced there, so this might be hanging out. They're trying to coax it back, but I don't think it's going to. It's going to, I think, flash, and I think it's going to be a score of 1, maybe 2. As they take a look at the rocks. So it's definitely 1. And I think they might want to measure. They do want to measure.
Yes, you are.
So the ice officials coming out. That's Eric Hazard. Looking for the most exciting measure in all of sports. And that is the pressure gauge that we use to figure out which rock is closer to the center of the house, the button. It's pretty elementary, but it works really well, and it's fun to see. It definitely helps us underscore how unique the sport is. And I guess asking the viewers at home what rock do they think is shots or second shots? As it is one blue, which has already been cleared, as the most exciting measuring device in all of sport makes its way down the ice, being carried by our head ice tech for the weekend. That's Lauren. Definitely thankful she was able to come out and help oversee the ice duties. And she's helping to oversee an all-female ice crew. Getting a lot of experience learning how to scrape the ice with the Ice King, pebble, and mop, and all the other things that we do to make sure that we have excellent playing conditions for the teams. And as part of the duties of Ice Tech, it's also handling measurements as needed if the teams don't want to do it or they choose not to. So just putting the pressure gauge on the first rock. Once both teams see the measure, then they go over to the second stone. And it looks like it might be blue. And let us see here. It's red. So it's just going to be a single point for Frey. That was a good effort to try and get multiple points. But just single points. And so we're going to start our 5-minute fourth end break. And we're going to take that break with them. And we're going to pause to refresh. And we'll be right back with you as we continue with our coverage from the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. Welcome back to our ongoing coverage of the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, brought to you by doubletakeout.com. We're about ready to get set with the second half of this game as Austin and Mike make their way down the ice. Actually, they're headed back to the home end, looking for grippers. So Austin didn't take his gripper, and Mike did take his as they head down the ice. Close game. It is 3-1 in favor of Team Frey from Wine Country Curling. As Sean Johnson starts the action here in the 5th end of 8 possible ends of gameplay. And that is a center-ish guard, not on the center line. So this Tahoe Curling Club definitely appreciate the facility and the people behind it. As Berndt throws his first rock, just a lot of great volunteer support, and it is kind of like a community hub here in the State Line, Nevada, South Lake Tahoe area. It's been fun to see people come and visit the club, especially for a regional event like these Playdowns. So Allen's rock does tick the guard into the rings. So it's not a no-tick rule violation because it wasn't on the center line, and it's not a free guard zone violation because the rock it remains in play. As Sean throws a second. Looks like he maybe gave it a little bit of a push, although they're sweeping on it. So not any extra weight, and it does crash on the guard, but it's not a no-tick rule violation because that stone was not on the center line. So Austin has the broom down for his dad, Allen. I think looking to draw around the red guard that's down the center. Trying to coax it back over. And now it starts to curl. Might end up in a really good place. And it does. It gets around that guard. It looks to be buried. Although from this head-on view, it does appear to be about 20 to 40% open if Mike Frey chose to take it on. As it is, it looks like he's asking Bob Kunstler to draw around on the other side. Yeah, that was an interesting release. Bob didn't put any positive release on that rotation or that delivery. And this rock is going to end up around the guard, and it's going to be buried about 80%, I would say, 60% easy. And that's the 5th rock of the end. So now the free guard zone rule and the no-tick rule are off. And this is the point where people can go crazy bananas on doing takeouts. As Neil delivers the rock. The second stone's for Team Berndt. Runs the blue onto blue. So it does open things up a little bit down the middle. And it looks like Frey wants to draw down and draw around the center stones again. With Bob's second. Bob had a great first rock. Let's see if he's got two in his pocket. Looking for a draw. Hoping to get around the cover. It's going to be tight on the guards. And they actually let it, I don't think they let it go onto the guards. I think they just knew it was trying to hit the guard. I think it was close, actually, when I watched the replay on the YouTube channel. So we got Neil with his second rock here. Again, looking to kind of blow up the center of the ring, center of the house, center of the sheet, sorry. It's going to, oh goodness, it's super close, and it flashes. And sheet B, I think a close shot there. And it looks like Team Bets is sitting 2 that I can see. As Ryan Fox throws his first. As Team Berndt has a hammer this end. Apologies for not fixing that sooner. So Fox is putting up a guard. It looks like pretty well positioned. There's a lot of congestion down the center of the sheets. This is I find curling to be very fascinating. I hope people who are watching this are kind of discovering some of the wonder that we have with this game. Also, sometimes the frustration, as sometimes you're not making your shots, and you know, maybe communication of the team's not working out very well. But when everything works together, it is something else entirely. As Dan McCarthy releases some up weights, looking to peel the guards, maybe get it back into the house. Ooh, pretty good stop there. So it does peel 2 of the guards, it looks like, or at least one of the guards. It does get rid of one of the guards, and then the blue guard actually rolled to the left. So Fox is being asked to put up a guard, I believe. And it looks like they might be going for a tap. Actually, the sweepers got off of it, and they are doing a guard. So Frey has a lot of rocks in play, but with all the rocks in play, they only have one shot rock, or one counting stone. The Austin Team Berndt has the other red that's closer to the center than the second blue in the rings. Now it looks like Dan's being asked to throw some takeout weight again. This looks pretty close. It's going to get one, gets rid of the blue, and then the other red that's in the house goes away. So So it does turn the end around. Let's check out the replay. This looks pretty close. It's going to get one, gets through to the blue, and then the other red that's in the house goes away. So it does turn the end. Turns the end around. So now Mike Frey, not having the hammer, is choosing to draw around the center guard. I think to outcount that red. There's some danger there though, because Austin Berndt could do a angle raise double or angle raise. So trying to find the best way to describe that shot. Basically promote the red on top of the red towards the button. So this is going to chip the blue, and Bob's going to sweep it. It doesn't get into the house. It just creates a guard down the most obvious path to the button, which could be good for Team Frey. Maybe not the shot they wanted. So McCarthy's got the broom down for Austin Berndt. Looking for a draw, I believe. All they really need to do is be full 12 foot to outcount the other blue from Frey. This looks pretty good if the weight's there. And it does appear to be. It's going to slip around the guards and settle in the back 4 foot for a second shot. And so it looks like Frey is going to try to draw down on top of that. Teams are sweeping with the competitive fabric. As you can kind of see with this shot, they're holding their brooms there. The goldenrod color is a specific type of fabric that was initially discarded for its mediocrity. And then once there was a controversy called Broomgate that started about 8 or 9 years ago now, people turned back to that mediocre fabric just to try to level the playing field. So teams couldn't get an undue advantage just sheerly from the curling fabric and some of the curling broom materials. So they're trying to coax it over to be, ideally they want it to be shot, but this, I think they would want it to stop in time to be second shot, and that's what it is. Almost corner frozen. I don't know if Berndt can throw weight at this to move the blue enough to get a second point. I think they maybe just want to draw on top of the stones that are on the tee line to be a second point. So last rock is away. I think they're throwing a bit more up weight, so I think they're hoping to maybe fully dislodge the blue, but it's not going to come back. So that's going to be a score of 1 for Team Berndt. That was a pretty good force by Frey. And Frey's going to pick up the hammer to carry into the 6th end. And we'll find out what happens after a moment when we can return to the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, coming to you from doubletakeout.com. Yes, and now it's on. Yeah. All right, welcome back. Rods are in play here in this 6th end. It's a 3-2 game in favor of Team Frey over Team Berndt. I'm being joined in the broadcast booth. Or gondola. Are we a broadcast gondola?
It's a booth.
It's a booth. Okay, broadcast booth.
I'm not picky.
Being joined
I'm just
by
happy to be here.
the stip of Team Hernandez. It's David Hernandez.
All right, thanks for having us. Thanks for all your hard work this weekend too, Ryan.
Thank you.
It's nice to give you a little break from, this is the least I could do joining the stream to keep you here past midnight. I can at least give you a little bit of break on some of the talking. So I
You
feel like
were the first SRN game yesterday. So how's your event been going?
It was a really fun weekend. All of our games were really close. Came down to the last shot, and fortunately things didn't break our way on our stones. But yeah, really close games, really back and forth. That's one thing that's been really fun being a part of MoPac is just like all the level of play just keeps getting better. I love all the representation of the arena curlers, even when we go to non-arena events, like really holding our own. It's really, really great to see.
Yeah, and also you get to see familiar faces, both from your club at this event and also familiar faces on the competitive circuit.
Absolutely. And yeah, and like I said, the level of play just keeps going up. Everyone's definitely, I think, rising tide lifts all boats, right? I really like to see it.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you how often do you get to play against Team Berndt at the club in Orange County?
Quite a bit. Yeah, play with and against the Berndt quite a bit. Actually, my curling start to Austin and Alan.
Oh, really?
They were the first one to invite me on as a lead when SEC opened up, and that was kind of how I got my curling addiction started because of them. So.
Yeah, just one thing about, we mentioned SoCal curling, but also with Hollywood and Orange County, you guys have been moving from different facilities.
Correct,
and stuff, trying
yeah.
to find a permanent home. How's that been? Just trying to get used to new facilities.
No, for sure. It's definitely been musical chairs of curling. Well, it's like on fence, like I feel like I found a home, and then 3 months I was like, oh, this is closing. But then luckily we've been blessed enough to find other homes, who will still have us.
Yeah.
But no, just grateful for the opportunity, and just kind of nice to get on different arena ice, actually. Even though they're close by, they both play very different. Mm-hmm. They definitely have those kind of weird end sheets, that are always going to be fun. But overall, the ice has been fairly good, especially starting out, still newer at these clubs, kind of getting a feel for the ice, working with the crew. So,
yeah.
Working out some kinks, but overall, the play's been pretty fun.
when OC just moved to Long Beach, which is technically not in Orange County.
Yeah. What is it? The Orange County LA Curling Club, or
well, also,
however they want to say it.
Arguably, Orange County's new venue is closer to downtown LA than I think Hollywood's, perhaps.
Potentially,
if I needed to bust out Google Maps, because where's Hollywood these days?
So they are back at the Vic. They used to be there many moons ago, but it's right in Panorama City. So yeah, got some curling out in the valley now, and then back in Lakewood, which is like you said on that Long Beach border,
right next to the airport.
Yeah. It's not a bad spot. I'm doing a league in each one, so it's, I live in Long Beach, so it's a nice 10-15 minute drive to that club, and then
even in traffic.
Even in traffic, yeah. So I'm blessed there. The other one's an hour, so that's a little bit of a longer one.
Yeah. Also, I lived in Southern California for just a year when I was super young, but I do remember going on the 405 past the Long Beach airport, and like that's where the Goodyear blimp is tethered.
Yes.
And so it's always kind of fun to go by that airport. You see the Goodyear blimp.
It's nice to have some sightseeing on the 405 because you'll be on it for a while. So to have some nice scenery, doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
When you're stuck in that traffic, for sure.
And people have been joking about how the 28 Olympics are just around the corner, and how trying to navigate traffic on the 405 should be a medal sport and stuff.
I would get the gold, I feel like.
I had to drive up from San Diego to go to UCLA for a morning meeting, and it's just like it is so slow on the 405.
Absolutely.
And so I would get frustrated, and subsequent trips. I'm just going to take I-5 as deep as I can go, and then once it starts to slow down, I'm just going to take surface streets around to try and get around most of it, and just keep going and stuff. And even if I don't go any faster, at least it feels like I'm going somewhere,
right,
as opposed to when you're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic on the freeway where you feel like you're going nowhere.
Just going crazy.
Yeah. And then you have the shoulder runners. It's like, it's like if we could, if it was legal, everyone would be doing it. Because we're not suckers for just waiting in traffic and stuff. So how's this end unfolding from what do you think?
Looks like they got Austin chasing for sure. We're trying to play that little run back. Looks like Neil's just over-curled slightly. So didn't get quite the result they wanted, but at least opens it up to make a play on that blue.
Frey is sitting 3 right now, but those two closer rocks are pretty exposed. And I think they're looking to try to put up some protection.
Looks like it's just not curling enough. So they still have the hit on that blue.
Yep. And they could maybe try to roll under the
Would be
cover.
some nice coverage, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think of the ice conditions this weekend?
Ice has been good, yeah. I like the speed. A little bit tricky on some of the hit lines I've noticed this weekend. But overall, it's been really nice ice.
And the speed, I know we talked about sometimes when you go from arena ice to dead hit ice,
Correct.
That speed variation can trip people up.
Yeah, no, the speed's been really good. I think our first game was probably the fastest. It's like 4 to T. But it's been a solid 3-8 the rest of our games. So yeah, pretty nice speeds out there.
And then when you say 4, you're using the back line.
Yeah, correct.
To the hog.
Correct, yeah.
And so they do peel the guard, it looks like. And so I'm sure Frey's.
Things up.
Yep. I'm going to guess that Frey's going to put the guard back up. So it's just. I do enjoy this setup where I can see all the cameras at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's very nice.
I try to switch the angles that people, we try to tell the story. That's one of the great things about when you watch curling on TV is that the players are mic'd and you get to hear the ends unfold. It's kind of like a developing storyline.
I'm much more happy that I'm mic'd out here than when I'm on the ice. I'll just say that. You got my PG version of David for the YouTube.
And you are holding a beverage, but
Speaking of the ice conditions, it is nice to get out here on dedicated ice. I know that you were mentioning our clubs for Orange County and Hollywood, but Orange County is making a pretty good effort to get dedicated ice. You can definitely see their website if you don't mind me giving a little shout out to see where they're at. Definitely doing some fundraising, so you can definitely check that out.
I keep waiting to win the lottery so I can start building dedicated ice clubs in areas that need it.
Absolutely.
Well, in real estate, I don't know. Real estate is probably one of the hardest parts, and I imagine especially so in Southern California.
Yes, you're not incorrect there. Yeah, I like their efforts. They're definitely mobilizing.
So Frey's stone over curled, and so that means that Dan has a chance at a takeout. They're trying to push it over. I think it's going to get a piece.
It'd be nice to get a roll. You would have pretty good coverage. It would be a hard stone to get out of play.
Oh, yeah. So are you done, or you have one more game?
We have one more game. Spangler will be next on the feature sheet, so that'll be a fun one for our audience back home to watch.
And are you have you been paying attention to the playoff implications? Are you in the hunt, or?
We would need things to break our way, so we need to win this next game. But we would definitely need some other teams to give us our destiny. So, like I said, they're really fun games. All of our games came down to the last shot and the last end. Sometimes at extra end. So definitely back and forth. Good competition. Definitely fun games for people to watch out here in the warm room.
Well, also after the first game, and this rock is a bit wide. Let's see where it ends up from Ryan Fox. Oh, he's looking to take out that red on the wing. I was curious why they went after it.
Let's do the job.
Keeping games close. I mean, hard-fought battles. Like you don't necessarily want to come to an event like this and just get blown out of the water. I mean, we've seen teams that do that. Sometimes you're building experience, but sometimes it's just it doesn't necessarily, I think, feel great to just get their butt kicked around all weekend.
In curling, that's how we build character, right, Ryan?
Well, I mean, you're going to get your share of losses. And ideally, it's like how you learn from the losses, how you build from the losses. That's how you get to be a better team. But also at the same time, also here on the stream, we want to see good games. I mean, I wouldn't have necessarily wanted to stay until 12:30 in the morning.
Sorry about that.
Night. It's fine, but it was for a good cause. It was for a good game, so it's totally understandable. If we had like an 11 o'clock draw and we just got to see a blowout in 30 minutes,
No, I'm right there with you. I think most people also enjoy tight games. Personally, I think the only blowouts I enjoy watching are when my Lakers are playing. But that would be about it. Anything else, I like a good tight game.
Well, and the Lakers haven't had as many blowouts as they used to. So.
Thankfully, yeah. It was a rough couple of years for a minute there, but stuck it out.
So looks like
it's looking pretty good.
Yep, you're gonna get one. Gets two.
Gets both.
That's a double takeout. Let's do the replay.
Good tight game.
Well, and the Lakers haven't had as many blowouts as they used to. So.
Thankfully, yeah. It was a rough couple of years for a minute there, but stuck it out.
So looks like
it's looking pretty good.
Yep, you're gonna get one. Gets two.
Gets both.
That's a double takeout. Let's do the replay. So who brought us that double takeout?
Who did that? Sorry.
Oh, we're back now live. So with the replay, it plays back the audio at the same time. So when you said that, it overlaps.
Gotcha.
So that's why I was kind of asking you who brought us the double takeout.
Oh well, sorry guys. For you back home, if you weren't aware, that double takeout was brought to you by doubletakeout.com.
It's a fun tie-in, and we definitely thank Ken Pomeroy for his support of these MoPac Playdowns.
Absolutely.
So wow! Oh, he flashes. So man, the Frey was building something, and now it's kind of the pendulum shifting back towards Berndt here.
Yeah.
Because he was able to do that double takeout. And then Frey flashed with his first rock here. And so now Berndt is sitting one and looking to maybe bury a second stone and then really forcing Frey to a single point here.
Yeah.
So it's also kind of fascinating. Sometimes you try to build up toward a big end and then just all of a sudden after a couple rocks, it's like, well, we're going to scramble to try and get a single point.
Absolutely.
It's a bummer when you're on the losing end of that scenario, but when you're on the oh man, we're in a jam and we were able to hit our way out.
There's always fun games to watch back when you're looking at them like, well, they're sitting three. How the heck did we still two here? We only have 3 shots left. But that's how quickly an end can swing.
Oh yeah. So how did you come into the sport? I know you mentioned the Berndt kind of took you on at SoCal Curling.
Yeah, so I had been familiar with the game. I would come out and watch some of the arena games. I was just kind of far, so I could watch half of it. So when we had our dedicated ice, it was pretty equidistant for me and a lot of people from Orange County.
Well, Vernon was a pretty good location.
Yeah, so it was a good 30-minute like distance, kind of equidistant from a lot of people around LA. So yeah, the drive that made it now accessible, and gosh, yeah, it was pretty much love at first hog for me. Didn't have the greatest first stone, but I got to get introduced to Malort, and now my favorite sport to play. So I would say that's a win-win for me, Ryan.
I don't know about the introduction of Malort being part. Would you count the Malort being part of the win-win?
I mean, I like to travel to Chicago and fit in with the locals, so I'll say yes.
So Mike Frey has his last rock here. If he punches this red out and sticks, I think he does get 2. So Bob is really pounding that rock, I think looking to hold the line. I think it might overcurl here. It's going to be close, actually. It's going to hit, and it's going to roll to the back 4. So I think that's
Pretty
2.
good roll.
Yeah.
Like Austin was trying to, that's 2.
So they're kicking the rocks. So we're going to update the scoreboard for Frey. This is score 2. Close game, although I think Berndt needs to get a multiple point end here in the 7th to really stay in this game. Although it's kind of fascinating sometimes. This is a tournament, so how long do you decide to stay in a game if it does turn into kind of a blowout?
I know. Well, Austin and them too. They're a very resilient team. I've seen them come back many games being down pretty good. So I'd say you kind of get a feel for how your team's playing. If you feel like you have a chance, it's always good to go for it. But at the same time, if you need to get 4 and the other team's just hitting everything and aren't missing much, that's when you might want to consider.
When also this is their last game, so sometimes this is your last chance to be on this ice. You might want to maybe stay on a little longer.
Enjoy the dedicated while we can.
Yeah. Although at the same time, if the other team is going to have another game to play or advance, it's like maybe you don't want to tire them out unless, in the spirit of good sportsmanship.
It wasn't bad. Down 3. It's been a pretty low-scoring game so far until this past end. So they've been playing it pretty tight.
They just need to score at least 2, I think, to have a chance.
Yeah, get your skips deuce and you're right back in this.
Oh, yeah.
So Austin's definitely going to be looking to generate some offense here.
So the first rock is away. Definitely fun to see people standing in front of the camera. Giants fan, are you a Dodgers fan?
I am.
Okay. Well, we can't get along. I prefer the Giants. I understand the Dodgers, but
No hard feelings.
Yeah. Well, it's just their histories are also intertwined because of how they came out to the West Coast. So, and then of course, considering the legacy of so many of the Dodgers greats, also the Giants greats. We lost Willie Mays recently and stuff.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But also the best Dodgers, the best baseball players, the best Giants, they bring a lot of joy to a sport that they're good at and stuff. And so that's, I think, something that I think we can identify with in curling, where we might not be top athletes necessarily.
Well, speak for yourself.
And what are you drinking right now?
Oh, just Founders All Day IPA.
It's a beer, right?
Yeah. Well,
and you have a game coming up.
This is my fuel for elite level curling.
Okay, I will take that. So we may not be world-class athletes. Let's say that.
All right, I'll give you that.
But we try to find, I think some joy in the sport. I think that's why most of us play, because this is a game. It's supposed to be fun. And hopefully the people watching this at home are having some fun, enjoying the broadcast. I try to keep things light, especially understanding that these teams have different skill levels. I'm trying not to be too down on people, although sometimes I can be skeptical about, why did they call that shot?
Yeah, and like you said, it's hard without, knowing the ice conditions.
Yep.
Obviously, these skips know the skill levels of their players, so they're calling shots that they feel they can make.
Yeah. It's I also compare this game to golf. It's a common analogy, but when you golf, you have multiple clubs in your bag, and you need to be able to know how to use those clubs.
Absolutely.
And so with curling, it's kind of the same thing. Your clubs are the different types of shots. Like a draw to the house is one club, one shot, and then you would work on a takeout and stuff. And so some people might not have all those clubs in their golf bag.
It's funny you say that because Neil, Austin's second, is a pretty new curler. Just started curling this past December out of Berndt County. But he came from competitive golf. Not quite PGA level, but he's one of those curlers that's new and is definitely getting a lot of good clubs in his toolkit when it comes to curling. He's been pretty solid for a pretty new curler.
Well, and also people compare reading the ice to trying to read the greens for a putt and stuff.
Very true.
Why is Alan not skipping this team?
Well, they say, what is it? Age before beauty, beautiful before age.
Age before beauty, yeah.
There we go.
There we go. No, that makes no sense.
Some questions why Alan isn't the head of the snake here. But no, Austin's been skipping a long time. It's again where you're comfortable at your position. And plus, Alan likes to show off his muscles with his sweeping. So I think that's the biggest factor of why he likes to play for Alan.
So, and also speaking of golf, I like to use my line. I do this at Learn to Curls when I try to explain any sort of hogging or burning the rock, which is a foul. And so I say, we call our own fouls in the sport because curling is a game of sportsmanship and honor, like golf minus the cheating. And it always gets a laugh, so I'm happy with that.
It did. Guilty as charged.
And not saying that people cheat at golf, but it's really easy to cheat at golf. And that's why my handicap is under -5. No. So we got a lot of rocks in play as we see.
Yeah, they definitely got Austin chasing here.
And this is Neil right now. I heard, I was told it was Neil Hunter, but also it could be Neil Hunter Smith.
Let's just go with all three. I feel like people really like to hear their names pronounced.
Well, also people want to hear their names pronounced correctly, which I try to do. I sometimes don't get it right, but I do my best. So it looks like Frey is really controlling the center here. Yeah.
Just didn't quite come like they thought it would. And over curls hits the guard.
As we see, this is Bob Kunstel. He's a new curler too, a year and a half. But he's not the USA curling jersey, so it's hard to say. I do have to say I like your team's threads. Everyone's got sharp threads in Southern California.
Yeah.
We're working on some new threads at the Oval that I helped design, so I'm excited to see those when they come down from Canada.
Yeah, I've liked our Golden State uniforms. Have been pretty fun, and then Orange County also just unveiled a new logo, new uniforms that are also really, really nice. So it'll be cool to see those out on the ice pretty soon.
And also, the logo kind of reminds me of the county fair, almost like a Ferris wheel. And there's palm trees, and the curling house was kind of almost like a Ferris wheel. And
there
stuff.
We go.
So, yeah.
And then that beautiful sunset.
Oh yeah.
We get spoiled with that.
That's a good logo.
Out on the West Coast. Let's move some stones here.
Gets one of the blues out of the way, but doesn't really change things too much down the middle.
Still pretty guarded up down that center. So, looking good for Friday to potentially get a steal here.
And then for Berndt, he has a cluster of corner guards to draw around if he ever gets the opportunity. But I don't think the opportunity is ever going to be there.
He definitely needs to start opening stuff up so he can make a play on those two in the house.
As we see Ryan Fox get ready, and so was there a game this weekend that you were really looking forward to, or was there a game that turned into a really good one for you guys?
Gosh, I mean, I'd say all of our games were pretty fun. Like I said, very, very close games. It's always fun, playing with and against the Berndt. So that was a fun one right off the start. A little hometown rivalry. Yeah, it's been a pretty good games all around, I'd say.
That's good. I know.
I'm a little sad that I'm not in the same bracket with the other Davids, though. Cause I always like playing against David Hurst, because either way, a DH is going to win. So we walk away. One of us always walks away happy.
Now, is there a team that you really feel like you need to kind of get up or kind of build up to?
I mean, definitely, like I said, the Berndt are always a good challenge. In our pool, we also got, Spangler. We'll definitely need to bring it for them. They're very good team out there, out of wine country.
They're the top seed of this event.
Yeah, so it's probably a good one to get our game up for.
Well, also the common conventional wisdom is that obviously you don't want to play down to a team that may not be at the same level and stuff. You always want to play your game.
Absolutely.
And always try to improve and build on your performance. Because I always like to say that communication is important, but also like consistency is important. Being able to make those shots.
For sure.
And that was a great shot there from Team Berndt. I guess that would be the third. And that would I need to remind myself who the third is.
It's Dan McCarthy.
That's right, it's Dan.
That definitely helped things.
Yep. Does kind of push one of those blues to the back behind the corner guard coverage. And so Frey is sitting 3 right now. And it looks like they're just going to keep protecting the center, which makes sense, to reduce that scoring area down the middle. Would they want to keep it higher, or do they just want to put it into the top of the pile, not to move it around, but just kind of like right on top?
I don't hate putting another one in the pile. Gives you another stone in the house, right? Mm-hmm. So if they do manage to hit or double something out, you still have 2 stones potentially in play. Just keeps the pressure on. Again, high guard's not the end of the world, but
I think that'd be
bringing it in the house, is also pretty good.
Yeah, you don't want to be heavy and move stuff around. So light would be the miss. And so this kind of raises a good question, because when you're in arena curling, I think there's a great temptation to just draw as much as you can, and then okay,
right, race to the middle, because that's normally how you win in arena games.
Because there's only one path, and then just kind of block, just guard and
Absolutely.
stuff. And then I think one of the basic steps that a more competitive team makes, as we see Dan deliver his second, is that they say, hey, why don't we keep putting more rocks in, or what, Don't just settle for one. Try to put more in and stuff. And this is going to move some rocks around again. It is 2 of the blues out.
There we go. So that double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com from Dan McCarthy.
Watch the replay. Yes. Just settle for one. Try to put more in and stuff. And this is going to move some rocks around again. It is 2 of the blues out.
There we go. So that double takeout.
So the phrase that pays, if you like doubletakeout.com.
Oh, yes.
So they can't see it on the video, but there's a business card sort of that Orange County is holding out. Is it a link to the fundraising campaign, or is it the website?
It's QR code. You can also again go to the website. This tells you a lot more about our dedicated ice efforts.
Okay.
What we're doing. So just get your camera, scan it out, and it'll take you to our ocdedicatedice.com. And again, there you can learn about our fundraising efforts. You can make a donation. If you're interested in being a part of the committee, just have a lot of great information on that website.
Okay. That's really cool. And I don't know if you guys are far enough along, but do you have an area in mind? I don't necessarily need to know if you have a building in mind necessarily. But.
Definitely have some areas. And again, just trying to be strategic, right? So we can have a good central location, just pull in a lot of curlers, because Southern California is pretty big. There's a lot of territory to cover, but just finding something that again can work for a lot of the SoCal curlers in that region.
Vernon, I mean, it's not the most. I'm trying to think about the best way. It's a pretty industrial area, but it was just south of downtown LA.
Correct.
Really, I think probably one of the best central locations. Now that was affordable-ish. I don't know really how much.
No, you're not incorrect.
And I like Drake Park. Obviously I don't know if they would be able to build a club in Drake Park, but that's also the former El Toro air station. And there's also a lot of government surplus property there.
Yeah, no, they're definitely looking scouting, and I think that's just the nicest thing is trying to find something that can just draw in a lot of the curling community.
Yeah.
And just keep growing the sport from there. We love our curling community.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say, we're an eclectic bunch, but that's what I love about a curler. You meet a curler, they're always the most interesting person I've met. So,
well, and
really nice
you've curled on a dedicated ice, and so like some people, kind of turn their nose down at arena ice, even though we're just playing. It's really that worked out for Austin. Goes to the Reds on the side and kind of ricochets. Looking at the kind of the replay on the YouTube monitor, I worked out, I think, probably even better than they were hoping for. Runs the red onto the blues in the house.
Hopes that you unlock that blue, so make a play on it.
And that red is not in a scoring position, I believe. So I was asking kind of what your thoughts were about like people who got used to dedicated ice and they don't want to go back to trying to play on hockey ice conditions.
I mean, I think you're talking to the wrong person because I love curling, so I got my first taste of like, oh, what's this negative handle? But I mean, dedicated arena. If it has ice and stones, I'll be there.
Yeah. And like it's the same game. It's just the conditions are not the more ideal that you might see in dedicated.
And especially for competitive arena teams, there are some advantages when we do go to these dedicated ice clubs. I feel like an underrated advantage of playing on arena ice is we have to learn how to read those lines very quickly. Mm-hmm. So when we go to these clubs, I feel like we have pretty good advantage of reading that ice fast. And to our advantage, when things are acting a little weird on dedicated ice, we could adjust to it pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
Where we see those falls or those weird lines that run straight, and other teams will be like, oh, well, that's not there, right? That's just a figment of my imagination.
Could remember release or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely, something that can still come in handy being on arena ice and still sharpening your skill set. So when you go to those dedicated ice competitions, you can definitely bring it.
So Frey puts up a guard with his last, and it looks like Austin is going to have to basically just draw for one, which might not be enough to stay in this game. I mean, he could play the next end. You can play until you run out of the rocks.
Which is tough to steal too, but not impossible.
They do percentages. I mean, obviously you can be down one and come back, but down two, the percentages drop considerably.
Very true.
But this looks like it's going to be really close. The sweepers are just walking with it. It needs to stick around, and it's not going to. It's going to settle in on through the rings, and that looks to be a steal at 2. And they're kicking the rocks. And this is where we kind of wait to see if a decision's been made. Not yet. It's always kind of. I said on one of the earlier broadcasts, I saw during an event that the other team shook hands after an end, but it's like it wasn't to concede the game. It was like, oh, that was a good shot. It's like, why are you shaking hands for a good shot after an end when it looks like you might be conceded the game? And so I said, oh, that's the game that the other team was. So wait a second, why
are
they?
Like a gentlemanly sparing of curling.
I know. Why are they playing the next fans? And apparently that team is known for kind of doing stuff like that.
So I think you said this might be one of the situations, right, where we got two teams, their last games of the day, or potential last games, maybe just seeing what happens, playing it out.
Yeah. Well, Frey has another game at 9:40 tonight.
Oh yeah, so they got plenty of time to rest. They're good.
All right, so they are going to play the string outs. That was a steal at 2 for Frey, and Berndt has the hammer coming home. This is their last game, barring some weird circumstance. So Sean is going to throw. I was all excited. Imagine it could throw through, but they might be playing into the house. It's kind of fascinating. As someone who skips, like kind of maybe go over kind of like the goal setting you do before and during a game and stuff, like end by end. Because like a lot of times, like after each end, do you have like a goal in mind on what you want to try to do for the next end?
Absolutely. A lot of it's, depending if we have hammer or not, kind of what we're trying to generate in that end. And yeah, I think you're always reassessing. Also, sometimes you're talking after that end and just saying, hey, just more of the same, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like sometimes other teams might want to change it up on another team, like mix up strategy mid-game. But for us, if it's working, it's working. Mm-hmm. So I say stick with it.
Oh yeah, and also like communication, like I think a lot of times, especially when the games are timed, you might feel the pressure to just try and keep moving and stuff. But like sometimes, do you feel like you need to like take a breath and just kind of make sure everyone on your team is on the same page?
I think being on the same page is critical in that communication. Luckily, we played with pretty good pace, so we've always had. If anything, I could probably slow down more for my games, anyways. But no, yeah, it's good to settle in. Don't spend too much time thinking about it in the hack. I think when you're in the hack, you just kind of turn your brain off and go.
Yeah. But hopefully, especially when you're skipping, hopefully all the 6 shots that led to your shot 7 and shot 8 mean that you just focus on executing and hopefully have a good end. So that one's going to go into the house. It's shot rock on the left, and so Berndt is going to take it on. Down 5, so this is a situation where they're going to probably basically be run out of stones, the most likely outcome, although it's possible for Berndt to score 5. Yeah. Stranger things have happened.
You almost want to maybe even just move stones around, even keeping some in the back, can start to be your friend here.
And actually, you're right, just based on the weight that Alan threw, it's not takeout weights. And one thing I've noticed on the broadcast is like sometimes you don't need to throw a missile to move rocks around.
Correct.
I saw a really soft weight double last night that, I think it was like hack or board weight. It was just enough to move those 2 rocks. Mm-hmm. They were in the back of the house, so they didn't need to go like through the house. But, it was just enough to move them and, stick around.
Yeah, keep stones in play. Those are very dangerous teams that have their hack and board weights down. You can definitely do a lot with that tool in your toolkit.
So this is Bob's first. Looking to punch out that red that's on the right. This might be over curling, and they're just going to let it go. So this might be the only game on the sheet. It's kind of, coming from an arena where you have like 5 or 6 sheets on the ice. A lot of curling places we've been to have 3 or 4 or 5 sheets, but this is a 2-sheeter. What's it like being in a club kind of this?
It feels very intimate. You can definitely tell. But I love the setup here. It's a really nice club, really nice warm room, locker room storage. It's like very impressive 2-sheeter out here.
Yeah.
I will say it is very quiet once another team gets off that ice. It's quiet enough when you're the last game on a 3-sheeter, but you really feel it when there's only 2 sheets.
So is sheet B? Oh, sheet B is still in action. Just all the plays down. Well, there's a lot of people in the house, or a lot of people in the warm room. Just to update, sheet B, the B pool game between Team Chen of Orange County, one of your fellow club mates.
Yes.
Taking on Team Berndt of Wine Country. It's been kind of, I would say back and forth, but after the 5th end, Chen kind of took control and has been scoring. Scored a single in the 5th and 6th, then scored 2 in the 7th to take a 6-4 lead, but Berndt has the hammer coming home. So, and Berndt has had a pretty good tournament so far.
Yeah, they've been playing really well.
And Chen's at 1-1 right now, so he kind of needs to stay. He needs a win to kind of stay in the hunt. And it's kind of like I always want to play on Sunday. It's kind of tough when you say only 4 teams make it out. But that's also, I think, it's somewhat fair because you play the pool, and sometimes you have a game go your way. Sometimes you have an unlucky break. A rock picks sometimes.
Too soon, Ryan. Too soon.
Oh man! Also, that I think being on dedicated ice, it reminds you of how important it is to keep the ice clean and the stone clean that we don't necessarily do on arena ice.
You are correct.
Because arena ice also, because you have a fresh straight, there's usually not any schmutz on the ice. but they do a really good job at dedicated facilities to keep the ice clean. But it's not stripped down, to the base level like it is in hockey. So it can punish you. I saw one pick where, I don't know if you saw it this morning. I think it was Pomeroy's game, where it picked and it started veering to the left, and then the rotation switched and it came back hard.
Correct.
At the end. That was insane.
Yeah, that one hurt. That was my shot, actually. Like, too soon.
So
looks like he got this double.
Oh wow! What about the double takeout?
Oh yes, that double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com.
Let's watch the replay.
Like, too soon.
So
looks like he got this double.
Oh wow! So yeah, they're down 5, and sometimes when you're on arena ice, like the time, you have so little time. Like even if you're down, you're eliminated. You just want to play the end out because you're only on the ice for 90 minutes or something. It could be once or twice a week. Versus when you're at a dedicated ice club, it's like, oh, I'm just going to go down and practice during lunch or something like that.
The best part, though, is sometimes when it is a blowout, then you just start broom stacking early, which is also a fun part of the sport. So.
Although arena clubs don't often have a bar in the building, so.
Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
That's our skip.
So we got Ryan Fox here, just trying to run Team Berndt out of stones.
He's sweeping, they call him off.
Just cleaning. Now he's digging in.
And that will hit and roll over.
And that's handshakes. So make the final 7-2, Team Frey. Team Berndt, this is their tournament. They were not going to be able to advance based on their record. Again, barring some unforeseen circumstance where, there's a mystery hole that half the teams disappear down.
But overall, well played game. Very, very close in the beginning.
And then, we can pop up the scoreboard in the background as they push the rocks back down. Yeah, it was close.
Pretty clean for a while there, yeah.
And Frey just started pulling away. So, let's see here. So I'm trying to pull up Frey's record real quick. So Frey has one game to go. They're at 2-1 right now, and so actually their night game. I've been asked to
play.
I've been asked to consider airing this game because it's between the 2 and 3 teams in the pool, Pomeroy versus Frey. The winner is going to get their ticket into the playoffs, most likely. I mean, one team is going to get in, the other team is not. Spangler is almost certainly going to get in. Actually, he's definitely going to.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, because even if Spangler loses, the best record is going to be 3-1, and only Pomeroy or Frey can match that. So at this point, we can say that Spangler has punched his ticket to tomorrow's semifinal.
Yes, congratulations to Team Spangler. Team out of wine country. Solid play over the weekend.
And then the nightcap at about 9:40 is going to feature Pomeroy versus Frey. The winner will go to the semifinals. That's not our featured game, though, unless we switch the cameras, which requires some logistics that we might need to work out. So I can't guarantee anything along those lines. So we have 4 cameras, so we might say, hey, we're going to put 2 cameras on one sheet and put the other 2 cameras on the other sheet and just kind of let it run.
So impressive.
And then sheet 2, we have Beds at 3-0, and again, that's a situation where Chen is playing right now. So if Chen wins and is at 2-1, they would be able to, they would need to win to have a chance at 3-1. But they're in the hunt too. Gilbert's in the hunt at 2-1. Hard to see Malera and Stephanie, did through, but that's Pool B. So
Yeah, either way, Pool A, Pool B looks like a good battle for that second spot. That's a match out of the warm room from the game on the other
we
team.
have handshakes there. Looks like Blue scored, and that would be Chen. So it looks
So it
like,
looks like yeah, they're going to be in the hunt still.
yeah, Chen did win, so they're at 2-1. So just to update the Pool B scenario, we mentioned that Gilbert is at 2-1. They need to basically win to stay in the hunt, and they're playing Stephanie at 6:30. That's next. That's a B sheet game. And then Frey is taking on Pomeroy. Oh, sorry, no. So Chen's taking on Millard at on sheet 1, and that has playoff implications. That might be one reason why it's going to be difficult to change the cameras.
Absolutely.
So, and then you're at 6 on the feature sheets.
Yeah, we'll be coming right up here. So thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It was fun, and can't wait for you to call our game.
Taking on Team Spangler. I think we're going to have some help from Austin Berndt. So it should be pretty interesting. Thank you so much, David, for joining us.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all our viewers at home, and thank you to this great curling community. Much appreciated.
Yeah, and we'll see you at 6:30.
Sounds good. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you. I'm climbing.
Thanks, man. That was fun.
Yeah, cheers. All right, so we're going to sign off now. Our next action is going to be at 6:30. The feature game is going to be Team Spangler versus Team Hernandez. And then the nightcap is scheduled to be Team Millard and Chen. We're going to try to do some look-ins on Sheet B, which is the Pomeroy Frey, where the winner will advance to the playoffs. So for now, for all of us here at MoPac, Lake Tahoe Epic Curling, and DoubleTakeout.com, this is your host Ryan Olson saying good afternoon and good curling. Hope to see you at 6:30.